Hello, AMS Track Parents. This is Derek Burns, Assistant Principal and Athletic Director at Abilene Middle School. I'm going to give you a short presentation on our rules and policies and procedures for the upcoming track season as it pertains to our athletic department. First up, we have our AMS Athletics Resource Guide. This can be picked up in the AMS office at any time. We're ending the season this year, the 2023-24 season, but it still has information that might be beneficial for you. Again, this can be picked up in the office and you can put it on your fridge, utilize it to scan the QR codes to get some different information about the upcoming season. A part of that is our AMS Athletics schedules that show our schedules throughout the whole school year, but on there you'll also find the track schedule. So you can pick this up as well in the AMS office, or you can scan that resource guide and get this particular schedule for the entire year in that guide. Something new that we've tried this year that's been very beneficial, we believe, is our Meet the Coaches Nights. We are getting ready to host our track Meet the Coaches Night this Thursday, March 21st at 5:30 p.m. in the AMS Commons area. We really encourage you to come to this night. This gives you a chance to meet your child's coaches and also share any concerns that you may have, whether it be health concerns with the coaches or just some information that you can dialogue with them. They will also be passing out some various information about the upcoming season. So this is an important night that we'd love to see you at, and it's just a short informational night to get you information quickly, and also so you can meet the coaches as well. Something I want to touch on that's very important about our department and our program at AMS Athletics is our Longhorn culture and vision. We created this last spring. I sat down with the coaches and we came up with a mission, vision, and core values. And this is really the backbone of what we fall back to and what our program is all about. So our mission is to provide opportunities for student athletes while developing those skills and focusing on instruction. Our main vision is to provide those opportunities to develop athletes, not only as athletes, but also with their character and as people. And then also to retain them. We want them to stay out for activities in athletics, so they want to continue that when they go across the parking lot to the high school. Our core values are the three things that we want to live for and be all about within our program, and that is commitment. We want to show commitment by showing up every day to practice, by being committed to our team, be committed to being coachable, and learning those life skills that are important. We want to give great effort in everything we do, whether that be in the classroom or out on the athletic field or court. And then we want to be great teammates and work together with our team. So having those three core values, we believe, encompass everything that it brings forth the AMS athlete as a whole. And we will always talk about those and refer back to those as we move forward. Another piece of this is our vertical alignment, which I'll touch base on, but we want to be vertically aligned from 3rd through 12th grade. And then all this develops our culture and what our culture is all about. So it really outlines everything that we're all about with AMS Athletics, and we'll push to focus on that, especially this spring as we go into next year as well. Vertical alignment, I touched on that. One important piece is we want to be vertically aligned from 3rd grade to 12th grade. We want our athletes to share common terminology that our high school track coaches want to instill as well before they come to their program. And this allows us to have a seamless transition and to help coach your child so there's not any gaps on the way there. So we really communicate with those coaches at the high school and also youth coaches in those different levels. We all want to be assistant coaches and put our ego aside because our head track coach at the high school, Coach Nix, is really what we're striving to help his program. Our end goal is to have success at the highest level, and I think that shows with our mission and our vision is we want to provide those opportunities and develop the athletes so when they get up there to the high school, their main goal is to have the success at that highest level. So that's our vertical alignment and something we will continue to strive for. How can parents help the Abilene culture? I love this quote, and I think this is important to think about as a parent. I utilize this with my own children. But the quote is, all it takes is one negative comment in the car or at the dinner table to plant a seed in your kid's head that they don't have to listen to their coach. And from there, their kids can become uncoachable, a bad teammate, or both. It doesn't take much to sabotage a team's chemistry. I would highly encourage you to make sure you have positive talk with your athletes at home. Doesn't mean that you can't challenge them, but please do not bash others or talk about our coaches in a negative way, because that just plants a seed that will provide negative team chemistry when they come to our practices and share that information. So please keep it positive, and that will also help encourage your athlete to do a better job as well. Athlete paperwork, you must have the following turned in order to participate. So your athletes must have a physical completely signed and completely filled out. The rules consent form as a part of that physical. The concussion release form as a part of that physical as well. Those are all encompassed in that packet of paperwork. And then they must view the concussion video. This is required by CASHA every single year and must be dated from May 1st on. And another piece to this is we're getting ready to start looking forward to the next school year, and we will have our sports physical night coming up, so be on the lookout for that. That would be a great way to get your physical paperwork in and taken care of for next school year as well. Concussion information. It's important to know if your child would show symptoms of a concussion after having an injury or a blow to the head, that our coaches are expected to sit them out until they can be cleared. So if they're suspected of any of those symptoms, which would be dizziness, confusion, balance issues, loss of consciousness, our coaches will set them out. They are required to, and they take training to do so until they can be approved by a medical provider, which would be an MD or a DO only. A nurse practitioner would not count in order to clear them. Once they've been cleared, then they enter a protocol if they were diagnosed with a concussion. The protocol is usually a 5 or even a 6-day process where they will go through that protocol with the coach, not with anybody else, and make sure that they are ready to re-enter the activity fully, and they will not be able to re-enter until they have finished that protocol. If that would happen, we will make sure we communicate with you as the parent and also the athlete so you're on the same page. Our eligibility policy, it's important to know that it is quarterly. Our seasons are quarterly at the middle school, so that's why we do it quarterly. Your child must pass 5 courses from the previous quarter in order to be eligible for track. So if they are out for track, I've already checked, and they have passed all 5 courses or 5 of the 8 courses that we have from last semester. Grade checks are made by myself each Monday morning to check the eligibility. And then if ineligible, students may practice, but they may not compete. They will not travel to away games. They should still always attend practice and stay up to date. And our coaches will also make sure that they communicate that. Our first eligibility check will be Monday, April 1st. We want to give a little bit of time for this 4th quarter to get started and grades to get established and allow them to build up some points before we do the first check. Our protocol, if when I run the report on Monday, they show up with 2 Fs on the report, then they enter what's called our protocol. So on that first Monday, if they come up with 2 Fs, any combination of 2 Fs, then they are on step 1. On step 1, that means we're going to give them a week to be on probation, get it figured out. They can still compete, they can still practice, but they've got to get their grades up. If we go to the next Monday and they still have any combination of 2 Fs, then they will enter step 2. That means that they will sit out for that entire week of all competitions, but they will still be able to go to practice and stay up with their level of competition. So they just will not be able to travel with the team if it's an away meet, and they will not be able to compete that week. During that time, they'll be in the classroom working while the team is on the road. If they would get to step 3, which would mean the 3rd straight Monday that they would still have 2 Fs or more, then they would enter step 3, which means they would need to turn in their equipment and be finished. At any point in time that they let's say they're on step 1, and then the next Monday they only have 1 F or no Fs, then they come off of the protocol completely and they start over. And as you know, our seasons are pretty short, and with the buffer at the start with the eligibility grace period that we've put in, it's going to be hard to get to step 3, and that's really what we don't want to get to, but we also want to ensure that the first priority is in the classroom. We do not carry insurance on your child. However, all 7th and 8th grade athletes are covered by CASHA catastrophic insurance, and that's by filling out that physical paperwork. You are covered on that CASHA catastrophic. Other than that, you are not covered. Emergency action plan. This is something we have as a district. Safety is our priority. We follow a district-wide plan, and we do practice it. This includes responses for injury, weather, emergencies. We have a plan in place if we would have weather move into the area, if your child would be injured, or if any other emergency. We have a district-wide plan, and we follow it very, very closely. Transportation and away games covered by all athletes are covered again by that CASHA catastrophic if they're riding the bus home. If you choose to take your child home and sign them out after meets, then they are not covered if something would happen during that ride home. But when they are on the bus, they are covered because that is a school vehicle. Coaches will have their own policies on riding home. Coach Bryson will share that at our upcoming Meet the Coaches night. If you want to bring your athlete home after the game, he'll have you sign out, and he'll give you that instructions on that night and also on Sports U. Game meets on the day of a meet. Your child must be in school by 12 p.m. in order to be able to compete. If there's other circumstances or the reason why they need to be outside of school, then you need to get in touch with me and email me, or you can call at the school and contact me that way. But they need to be on time the day after a meet. If they aren't, then they might lose their chance to compete at the next meet. So we do get home late, but it's important that they show up to school the next day. That shows them a life skill of just like we have to show up to work on time the day after a long night that we would be out with families or whatever. Sportsmanship, respect. It's important that we follow the quote of let the players play, the coaches coach, the officials officiate. We need to model behavior for our kids in our community. We need to respect the officials. There is a shortage. We are lucky that we have enough officials, but we need to respect them so they want to continue to come back. CASHA has an ejection policy. Typically, this isn't taken care of in track. Typically, track, there isn't as many issues with this, but also know that there will be adults that will be leading events, and it's important that we give them the respect and show good sportsmanship as well with them. Chain of command. If there would be a concern that you would have or a situation you would have, the first thing is we want to allow that concern to kind of simmer a little bit. So we have the 24-hour rule. We want you to allow 24 hours or a full day to pass before discussing any concerns with the coach. And there is a protocol with this. The protocol is the first time there would be an issue, we want to really encourage the athlete to come and communicate with the coach. This is a great life skill, just like you would communicate with the boss. We want them to learn how to have that communication, so please make them follow that first step. If at that point in time you don't feel like things have been resolved or your athlete is still struggling and you didn't get the answers maybe that you were trying to get, then you can set up a meeting with the coach, and this would be a parent and athlete with the coach. So a parent communicates with the coach, sets that meeting up, and they sit down and have a conversation. If at that point in time it's not resolved and we need to get to step 3 would be the parent and athlete sets up a meeting with the coach and myself, and we would go ahead and discuss things at that point in time. If we haven't got there, then it continues to the principal and then the superintendent and then the Board of Education. Most times, 99% of the time, it gets handled when the athlete can communicate with the coach. So please follow this chain of command as we move forward. We have our 3 social media pages, our AMS Facebook page, our AMS Twitter page, and AMS Athletics Instagram page. This is going to be the 3 different pages that we post information, but also we post results, and we just really celebrate our program. So please get on there. If you don't, the different handles are below each, or you can search them at each of those different sites. Communication via SportsU. SportsU is our communication device that we use. You're going to get every bit of information on there. Coach Bryson is going to send weekly updates about what the weekly schedule looks like, whether that be practice or the upcoming meet, what time the meet starts, what the cost of admission is, what type the different events start, the link to the results page, all of those different items. He's also going to put on there when they are leaving and headed back and give you updates there. So we really do 100% of our communication through there. You're not going to get it in very many other spots. Please make sure your notifications are turned on. If we ever need to send out an emergency message that needs to get out quick, it's going to come through SportsU, and all of our messages are going to come through there. So please make sure you have that on your phone and the notifications are on. This year's emphasis, coaches are only going to post, so please don't post anything on the main page. If you need to send anything specifically, that needs to be a direct message. All you do is go over to the members of the group and find the coach and send a direct message to them. It's really not a Facebook site where everybody posts. We just want it to be specific information that goes directly one-way communication to you about specific information that we have. Our accounts are right there to the right. You should have the track and field one already. If you don't, this can also be picked up in our AMS office, or you can contact Coach Bryson or myself. Game admission. Typically track meets are free. However, there are some that do charge admission. If they do, then we'll make sure we post that on SportsU and get you that information ahead of time. Our first home meet will be on April 4th, and it will be free admission to our meet. Team Pictures Media Days. Jacob Engel does a great job with our Abilene Middle Media Productions class, and they coordinate different media days, and those are coming up the following week after our Meet the Coaches night. He'll get that information out to the coaches, get that all taken care of, and then different shots and different pictures that he took throughout that process, he'll post out once he gets it all collected and refined, and then he'll offer out some opportunities for purchasing some pictures. I want to thank you for listening to this presentation about our AMS Athletics policies and procedures. We look forward to having your child go out for track. We also look forward to seeing you this Thursday night at our Meet the Parents night, or Meet the Coaches night. And we are looking forward to a great track season. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me via email. It's dburns, BERNS, at abileneschools.org. Or you can give me a call on my cell phone at 785-479-3735. Thank you so much.